Hi everyone, this is Crafty Decoria and I hope you're all doing great. So I don't know about you, but I have some of these gift boxes lying around from the winter and Christmas seasonal items. So I decided that I would use these 4 gift boxes to make 2 Dollar Tree Farmhouse DIYs, along with some other Dollar Tree items. If you care to see how I put those 2 DIYs together, then keep on watching. Okay, so I've gone ahead and separated the tops from the bottoms of the boxes. The bottoms will be used for DIY number 1 and the tops will be used for DIY number 2. So I'm just going to move these to the side and we'll begin working on DIY number 1. Boxes are now all glued together. I'm going to take them outside and I'm going to give them a couple coats of the Krylon Fusion all-in-one paint and primer in the matte black finish. Now if I had more time I would use the Dollar Tree acrylic paint, but due to time I just prefer the spray paint because it just gets the job done a lot quicker. But definitely if you want, the acrylic paint from Dollar Tree is a great option. Okay, so now I have the gigantic craft sticks from the Dollar Tree. You get 10 pieces in a pack, and I'm estimating that I will need at least 4 packs of these, so 10 sticks per box that I glued together. So I'm just going to go ahead and spread them out, and then using the Dollar Tree white acrylic paint, I'm going to give them a coat on the front and the back. I finished spray painting the boxes and I also painted all the gigantic craft sticks. So now I'm going to cut the ends off to fit on top of the boxes, and I'm just going to leave a little bit of a gap in between the gigantic craft sticks. I would recommend as well, where the boxes meet, that you actually glue a gigantic craft stick there so that it gives some extra support in keeping the boxes all together. Up, I went on to Google and I typed in free printable 8x10 letters. There's many websites that offer free printables, so you could just print them out and then trace them onto your sign. I chose to spell out the word home, so I have the H, the M, and the E. For the O, I will be using one of the 2-pack wreath rings, and I'll be wrapping that with the Dollar Tree burlap. To paint on my letters to my sign, I will be using the Dollar Tree black acrylic paint. I have my wreath ring and my burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap the wreath ring. Now that I've wrapped the wreath with the burlap, I've taken this LED string light set, which has the leaves on it. These are so pretty. I went back to Dollar Tree where I had picked these up and they were all gone. So definitely a hot item. There is 10 lights on this string set, and I'm just gonna wrap it around. So I was just going to leave this wreath as it is, but I wanted to share a little tip with you, because if you're like me, I like to add a little bit to my wreaths as the seasons change. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that with using just this wreath here for very inexpensive and super easy to transform. So you're gonna pick up some magnetic buttons from Dollar Tree, and then you're gonna pick up the packs that they bring out seasonally of little ornaments or decor pieces where they have about 8, 10, sometimes 6 pieces to the pack. And then you're going to add a little magnet to the bottom of the egg. Now, right now they have these little styrofoam glitter eggs that come in a pack. I can't remember how many because these I picked up last year. But a pack will bring you a long way, especially with these little mini wreaths. So by adding the magnet, you don't have to worry about any magnets on the wreath because yes, these are metal. So if I want to leave my wreath just like this, it looks beautiful just as it is. I don't have to worry about any magnets that sort of look out of place. But when I want to add something more or have a specific thing on the wreath for the season, then I just add my little decor pieces or my little ornaments, and voila, I have just transformed the wreath so that I can enjoy this sign all year long in a very special and beautiful way. The last thing I have to do for this sign is take a Dollar Tree faux wood hook, and I'm going to glue it to the sign where the O is supposed to sit. And then once I have my wreath on my hook, I'm going to secure the battery pack in the back with a little bit of hot glue. Okay, so now moving on to DIY number 2. And the main bulk of this is the top of the gift boxes. So with this DIY, I will be making a lantern. So you're just going to find something around your house, the shape that you want, because each lid of the gift boxes, I'm going to be cutting out an opening so that we can see into the lantern. So I've just grabbed a plastic Tupperware, placed it on the inside, traced it, and then cut it out. And to cut it out, I just use a utility knife. These work best, I think. And now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the other 3. Now that I have these cut out, I'm going to take them outside and give them a couple coats of spray paint. Okay, so now I have all my lids painted on the front as well as the back. So now on the inside of the lid, I'm going to take some Dollar Tree nautical rope and I'm going to glue it all around the opening as well as up on the sides of the inside of the lid. So here you can see I didn't end up filling in the corners of the inside of the boxes. Once one bundle was finished of the nautical rope, I just stopped, and I actually liked how it looked, so I just went with that. One bundle of nautical rope for each lid. If you decide to make this and you want to fill in those little corners, you can, but I actually like how it looks just like this. Now taking my hot glue, I'm going to glue all the tops together to form the lantern. Okay, so my tops are all glued together. Now I need to close off the top as well as the bottom. Because my sides have the opening, I'm not going to be closing them off, so whenever I want to add anything to the inside of the lantern, I have access from every side. So now for the bottom, I'm going to be using the gigantic craft sticks to make a floor. So I'm just going to lay them on top and then cut off the excess on each end and glue that down. I will be keeping this the plain wood, as I think that it looks really nicely with the nautical rope. Lantern around and you can see the bottom of the lantern, the floor. So I went ahead and cut 2 more gigantic craft sticks to glue them the opposite way to keep the floor nice and sturdy. So now for the top of the lantern, I'm going to be using this plastic square bowl, and I really like this one because there is a pattern in it. I will be spray painting this with the same Krylon Fusion all-in-one paint and primer that I used to spray paint the bottoms of the gift boxes for the sign. And I'm also going to be using this LED lantern from Dollar Tree that is going to sit at the very top of the container. I think it's going to look super pretty. So what I need to do before I spray paint this is I need to cut out a circle here in the center of the bowl so that I have access to the bottom of the lantern, this lantern, from the inside so that I can turn the little LED candle on the inside on and off. And also if I need to change the battery, my hole is big enough to be able to change it with ease. So what I did was I placed my lantern on top of the plastic bowl. Then I flipped it over. I roughly drew out the shape of the bottom of the little lantern. And then I made a circle with my Sharpie to show me where the opening of the little lantern is. So then I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to press it firmly and go all along that circle so that the heat of the metal of the hot glue gun is going to melt the plastic, which once I've gone all the way around, it will create my opening. I'll just be able to pop that piece of plastic out so that I have access to the little lantern again from the inside of the big lantern. Here you can see I've cut my hole with the hot glue. Here's the little piece, and it's quite easy to do. You just don't want to press too hard or you might crack the plastic. Just take your time with it. So now I'm going to go outside and I'm going to coat only the inside of this bowl because it's going to show through on the other side, and this way when you need to wipe the top of it, you don't have to worry about any paint chipping. And for that I'll be using the Fusion Paint and Primer all-in-one in the matte black. Okay, so I'm just waiting for my plastic bowl to dry. In the meantime, I went ahead, I added another 2 bundles of the nautical rope to the inside of the lantern, as well as in between that outside piece of nautical rope and the inside piece of nautical rope, I added another row to every side. And this way it looks finished really nice on the inside. Now, if you wanted to avoid the extra nautical rope and saving a little bit of money, I would recommend that at the beginning when you're cutting out your pieces in your lids, go ahead, grab a piece of sandpaper and sand it all down. This way you get a nice clean finish. I didn't do that, and so I had a lot of jagged edges. It looked really rough, and that's why I went ahead and finished it off in this way. Nevertheless, I thought I'd show you what it looks like when you finish the inside. I think it looks beautiful. Being that the lantern is made from cardboard lids, I thought taking this little extra step really makes it look a lot more high-end. Okay, so my bowl is now dry. I've just placed it on top of my lantern. I've taken the Dollar Tree glass writer in a white so that I can see it, and I traced all the way around where the bowl sits on top of the lantern so that when I take my bowl off, I can apply my E6000 glue just on the inside of that line and then place my bowl on top and let that dry. Have left to do is to glue my little lantern to the plastic bowl. So I've already gone ahead and outlined where I want my lantern to sit. I just placed it on top, looked on the inside underneath, making sure that the opening that I cut out in the plastic bowl is lined up directly underneath the LED candle on the inside of the small lantern. So once I have it in place, I just take that same glass writer from Dollar Tree and I trace out the outside of the lantern. Now, because this is white, it's good to have a Sharpie on hand so that once it's glued in place, you can go over with the Sharpie on top of the white and then it will blend in with the black of the plastic bowl. So I will use the E6000 glue again to adhere this little lantern to the plastic bowl. And I'm going to just add my glue to these raised plastic feet. So this way, when I place it on top, I know that it is going to adhere nicely to the plastic bowl. Okay guys, so here are both DIYs. What do you think? Do they seem like they were made from gift boxes? I know there were a few other supplies from Dollar Tree, but the main bulk of both of these DIYs are from the gift boxes. And oh my goodness, this lantern, I love it. This is probably my favorite lantern that I've made so far. I love that not only can I decorate on the inside, but with the sides being open, I can also carry the decor from the inside out through the lantern, and I absolutely love that. I think it just came together so nicely. I couldn't be more pleased with how this turned out. And then the sign. I love the height of it, I love the look of it, and I love that with both of these pieces, I can change them out seasonally and enjoy them all year long. Well, let me know if you have a favorite of the two. Let me know if you really enjoyed these DIYs. I hope you did. If you did, then please click on the like button. Please share the video. It will greatly help my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love and appreciate it if you did. As always, guys, you take care of yourselves, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye for now.